It was the kind of moment that forces even casual fans to look again. A teenager, barely 15 and a half, pulled on an Arsenal shirt and entered a Premier League match, instantly turning a routine evening into a headline. The obvious stat, 15 years, 7 months and 24 days, is jaw-dropping, but the real story is the wider ripple. A club that has spent years rebuilding its identity suddenly putting another raw youthful piece into the first-team puzzle. This debut was never just about minutes on the clock. It was a message from the academy that the conveyor belt of talent is real, active, and being trusted under pressure. Behind that substitution sits months, even years, of hard work. Early coaching sessions, step-ups through youth levels, standout performances that earned attention in youth competitions, and the kind of training ground displays that make senior staff take note. When a teenager like this is thrown into top-flight action, two reactions will arrive at once. Exhilaration from supporters who dream of the next homegrown hero, and a careful, tactical recalibration from rivals who suddenly have to plan for a new variable. The comparison that will be unavoidable is with previous record breakers, players who exploded onto scenes at improbably young ages and then carried expectation with them. But what matters is not simply a place on a youngest list, it's how the club manages the immediate aftermath. Will the player be shielded, given minutes gradually, or fast-tracked because his technical and mental readiness demands it? At a club that has shown a willingness to blood teenagers before, this appearance looks like part of a deliberate strategy, an investment in a profile of footballer who already understands the club's style and can be moulded from inside. There are practical consequences too. Squad planning now has another youth option to consider for rotation, for cup ties, or even for late-game tactical switches. Coaching teams will weigh the balance between protecting a fragile young confidence and capitalizing on momentum. Scouts across the league will start rechecking footage, looking for a pattern or an X-factor that opponents missed. For the player, the spotlight arrives with all its light and shadow, press attention, social media reaction, and the inevitable comparisons. That pressure can be crushing, or it can sharpen focus. Smart mentorship from senior pros, measured comments from coaches, and a patient long-term plan will define which path this youngster follows. But beyond the micro, the player's individual future, sits a macro story about Arsenal as an institution. The club's academy has been rebuilt and modernised, and moments like tonight demonstrate that the pipeline is producing not just prospects, but genuine options for the manager in real competitions. That has ripple effects for transfer strategy, wage budgets, and fan expectations. Homegrown talent reduces risk, builds identity, and creates a narrative fans can rally around. It also sparks debate. Should clubs be more daring with age, or should regulations and caution set clearer limits? That conversation will play out in pundit panels and fan forums over the next days. For now, the immediate images will stick, the crowd rising, the young player's first touches, the way teammates sought to reassure him with a pat or a word. Those small moments are the true currency of football memory. Looking forward, there are specific milestones everyone will watch. More minutes in domestic matches, potential appearances in cups or continental fixtures, and whether the player becomes a regular pick in matchday squads or is eased back into youth games to continue development. Whatever the route, tonight's headline will be used as a measuring point. The day a 15-year-old crossed the threshold from potential into public view. That doesn't guarantee superstardom, but it does guarantee attention. From supporters hoping for the next homegrown hero, from rivals adjusting their plans, and from a footballing world that still loves the story of talent rising through the ranks. So react, debate, and keep watching. Some careers begin with a single electric moment, and tonight, Arsenal served one for the age.